What's going on, guys? This is Biron. In previous tutorials, we have created a login application or login form, whatever you like to call that. And in today's tutorials, we are going to continue that series. That means we are going to create a registration application or registration form, whatever you like to call these. And let's do it. First of all, open Microsoft Visual Studio 2022, and we are going to use a SQL Server database. And from here, click on create new project, and from here select Windows Form application, and that is C#. Click next, and then give your project name, and then click next, and then click create. This will take some time because Visual Studio is a bulky IDE. Our IDE loaded successfully. Now expand this form a little bit, and from the view menu, and then click that toolbox, and then solve server explorer so that you can see right there, and click that toolbox, and from that drag and drop some controls, and we are going to use some text box here. Text box, and then combo box, one combo box for gender, and then the date time picker for DOB. Now arrange this form so that it looks nice. Now drag some labels also. We need a label, and then two button. Now arrange all these controls in your form. First of all, I'm going to change the name or text of this main form, and you can also change the back color from the back color property, custom. Okay, I'm going to use this color now. Now change this label text to date of birth, that is DOB. You can also change the color of this text, that is label. So from the back color you can change the color, and then you can also change the font size from here like this. You can change the font color, that is the text color. I'm going to use the white one here from the property, and you can repeat this same process for all the controls. Let me drag this a little bit so that this looks nice, and same process for all the controls. I'm going to first manage all the text box. Add one more label, and you can write that country. You can also change the font size from here like this. I show you for only one labels. You can do that for all the labels, and then one checkbox. Sorry, one text box, not checkbox. Now select each control and change the variable name. This is txt f name. This is txt l name. This is date picker, date time picker, date time picker, dob. This is combo box. cmb gender. This is txt email. Txt email. This is txt user. This is txt pass. This is txt phone. And finally, this is txt ctry. Now select the combo box, and we need to add the item here. Select the item property and then collection, and here goes male, female, and then others. Click OK. Now we finish our designing part of our form. Now what we need to do is we need to create a database. So for that, open up SQL Server Management Studio and click connect, and right click over database, new database, and here goes registration form. Registration form, and expand that database and expand that recently created database. Right click over table, click on new, and then table, and here goes first name varchar, last last name, that's l name varchar, and then dob date time field. Here you can choose date time, and then gender varchar, and then email varchar, and then username varchar, and then password varchar, and then phone varchar, and then country varchar. Click Ctrl plus S and then give the table name register. Now close that. Now go back to Visual Studio and go to Server Explorer. Right click over data connection, add new connection, and click that refresh. Now click that drop down icon and select your server name. Click that trust server certificate and select the database from here that you recently created, registration form. Click OK. Now from the property of the database, copy that connection string. Now double click that registration button. Before that, what we need to do is we need to import SQL client. So for that, right click over your solution, go to manage Nugget package for solution and browse and search system.data.sql and then system.data.sql client. Select your solution and then click install, click apply, click I accept. Now build and then rebuild your solution. Now go back to your form and double click the registration button. Scroll up and above the namespace we need to import our directories using system.data.sql client, and inside that clicking image of button we are going to write SQL connection is equal to new SQL connection and pass your connection string inside here. Here I increase the font size little bit so that you can see clearly. Here SQL connection con is equal to new SQL connection. Now we need to remove this trust server certification space. Now we are going to write the query string insert query is equal to insert into our table name, that is register, and then values, and we are going to use the parameter substitution. So for that we are going to use @ sign, @ f name, l name, dob, c and d are gender, and then what else we have, gender, and then email, and then user name, and then password, and then phone, and then country. Now here we are going to open our connection. So after creating the connection we need to open our connection. Before after that connection string, so connection dot open, connection dot open, and then semicolon. So here SQL command cmd is equal to new SQL command, and here goes our insert query, and then our connection. Now cmd dot parameters dot add with value. Now here we are going to substitute add fname, and here goes txt fname dot text. Same process for all other. cmd dot parameters dot add with value, and here goes lname txt lname dot text, and cmd dot parameters dot add with value, and here goes @dob, and here goes d dot value, cmd dot parameters dot add with value, and here goes gender, combo box gender dot selected item dot true string, and cmd dot para parameters dot it with value, and then here goes email, txt email dot text, cmd dot parameters dot add with value, and here goes username, and txt user dot text, and cmd dot parameters dot add with value. Here goes password, txt pass dot text. Here goes cmd dot parameters dot add with value, and here goes phone, txt phone dot text, and finally cmd dot parameters dot add with value, country, txt country dot text. Let's check enter the exact same parameter substitute value or not. Country, phone, password, username, email. Looks pretty fine. Now cmd dot execute non-query. Now we are going to display the message to the user. So message box dot show registered successfully, and then here info, and then message box button dot okay, and then message box icon dot information. Save that. There you go. Save that and run your application. Now enter first name and select your DOB and select the gender and enter email and username and password. What you can do before entering password is, now what we can do before entering that password is, you can go to your design and then now select that password field, and from the property here what you can do is you can system password here, use system password to true, so that when you type your password, I am going to show you, or run again. Here enter your first name, last name, and select your gender, and then email, and then username, and then password. When you type your password, it will hide automatically, but in a nice way. And then phone, and then country. Click on registration. Register successfully. Now let's check whether our data is entered in our save in our SQL server or not. So go to SQL server, right click over table, and then click on select top 100, or what is it, select top 1000 rows, and there you can see our information is saved: first name, last name, date, gender, email, username, password, phone, and then country. Very good. Now, if you want to make this a little bit nicer, for example, if you run this application and without entering any value and click register, register successfully, and the empty field is saved in your database. Let's say right click, my bad, right click, and there you go. Empty field is saved in our database. That is not nice. To make this application a bit nicer, or when this text box and combo box are empty, what we can do is we can display the user that these fields are empty, and if the user enter some value in this combo box, date time picker and text box, only then we can save our data into our database. So for that, what you can do is we can write on logic. So register, double click that registration button, and here what we can do is here I can define on variable bool is any empty is equal to false, and I can use a for each loop, for each control in control 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 in this dot control, and inside this for each loop, if control is text box, then what we can do is if we can check either text box is empty or not. So string dot is null or empty, control dot text, then what we can do is we can set this boolean value to true, and then break, and here else if control is date time picker, then what we can do is I can check if this date time picker control dot value is equal to null, then what we can do is we can do the same process, is any empty is equal to true, break, and else if control is combo box, if the control is combo box, then what you can do is again check if the combo box is empty or not. So combo box, this is a control dot selected index is equal to -1. That means if there is nothing selected in the combo box, then is any empty is equal to true, and then break. Now after this for each loop, then what we can do is if is any empty, then what we can do is we can display the message box dot show one or more fields are empty, please fill it. before submitting. Now else we can execute our code. Copy all this code and then paste there. Now save it, run it. Now if all these are empty and click register, you need to have a message saying one or more fields are empty, please fill it before submitting. So this is pretty nice because when user did not fill any form and click registration previously, our empty value is stored in our database. That is not nice. So that's it in this video tutorial, guys. If you like this video, share this video with your friends so that they can know about these latest tutorials. And thank you once again for watching this video. Have a good day. Bye bye. I'll see you in the next tutorials.